Hey friends, how is the sound? I'm a few minutes early here. Just got done walking the dogs with a medicine ball on my head. Took them for about a half-mile walk with a medicine ball on my head, and it was really, really great. I'll show you some of that later. Yeah, so I'm a few minutes early here, and please comment if there's any problems with the sound, if anybody's watching this. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show a short little sort of core workout that you can do. People want to know what to do for a movement routine, okay? I have something that's pretty simple go-to that I can knock out in a few minutes if I just want to do one set of what I'm about to show you. I try to do this 3 sets in the morning before I take my cold shower. So what I'm about to show you here is 4 different exercises, and together it's one set, okay? And we can start with any one of them. There's 4 different ones. Right now I'm going to start with the ab roller, okay? The first one especially, I'm going to really make sure that's funny. I'm going to make sure I really breathe into my nose slowly as I go down. Really relaxing my neck, relaxing my shoulders, go down slowly, breathing into the nose. Really expand my upper thoracics here. I'm still off the ground, breathing into the nose. And then horse breath. Lion's breath if needed. And I'm going to do this 12 times, so that's 1. This is a great way to start the day. First thing in the morning, or anytime throughout the day if we feel like we need a little pep, recentering. 6. Really go nice and easy. One more. Really take my time on this one. Extend the shoulders. Breathe in, expand. Take a nice breath out. I'm going to go straight from there to Superman with a medicine ball. This one's 20 pounds on top of my head, okay? So we're going to do 12 breaths, then 12 pulses. Then I'm going to hold it for a 12 count in my mind. Breath in. And go. 1, 2, and relax. You see this right here is a tricep stretch. Stretching the upper thoracics. Come into a child's pose. And up. Now, I'll show you how I use this medicine ball duo here. Okay. I take one, put it down here. The other one, I put it up here. See if I can show you here. Start left foot planted and come up. I call this medicine ball ballet. Go around 3 times. I think I might see a comment there. I hope the volume or the microphone's working. I'll check that in a second. And that's 3. Now I switch. And I have this medicine ball on my head, in case anybody can't see here. It's keeping me going straight up. Make sure my standing leg, the knee is slightly bent. You can see I can go up and down. It's a little added challenge. Whoa. That happens sometimes. We just drop the ball if we need to. I'm usually not trying to do this and get it all filmed. Okay. So that's 3 exercises so far. Got one more. Hold on. Hannah. Hey, friend.
Is it okay?
No, you're fine, but that's where we're going to do the...
Yeah, that's what I thought. So you didn't start yet. So
Yeah, it's okay. You just pull over up that way. Thank you. We're going to be starting the Qi Gong outside very shortly. This is just a nice little warm-up for Qi Gong. Okay. So there are 3 exercises so far. First is the ab roller, then the Supermans, then the medicine ball ballet. And then the fourth one, I just like to pick whatever yoga position or pose I feel like going into at the moment. Like right now, let's just go down into squat. Why not? See if I can show you a good squat here. Really getting down low. Letting this medicine ball help me. There we go. Trying to straighten my feet as much as I can. Try and get 12 breaths here. We can go from here to in the hands with our elbows resting on our knees, inside of our knees right here. This point where you see my elbows meeting my knees, that's where my psoas attaches, hip flexor, main hip flexor, attaches right here. So I can massage that attachment. Feels good. Try and get 12 breaths here, and then I can go down and massage my quads. I can feel myself getting lower in my squat as I'm doing this, as my pelvis is being released from my quads. Hold it down here like I have a baby. And take this here and come back up. Place it up here. Go to the third eye. come up. And come down here like this. Oh, really feel the head relax down. Feeling my sacrum release. Ah, 12 breaths here, and then I'm going to come up. Very slow, squeezing my glutes. Nice pop in my knee there. One vertebrae at a time, all the way up. Okay, let's go do some Qi Gong outside in the sun. Hannah, hey friend. I'm coming right out. I'm coming right out. Okay, watch out, dogs.
Check the book very
It's okay. It's okay. Those dogs, they just go crazy. I got the live stream already going here. Thank you for being here.
I thought about 10 you said 10, so
it's all good. It's perfect. We'll just do a short little Qi Gong here for everybody at home. Welcome. I'm just gonna get set up, and we'll take 1 minute here, and we'll be started with some Qi Gong. Just hang out right here, and I'll be right back. I'm gonna go actually wipe this off. How much time you got?
Well, 45 minutes.
Perfect.
You look in a hurry.
Well, let's do some Qi Gong, and we'll get rid of that. Hey there, friend. You ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. I got you on speaker. If you have any questions or if there's any, is the sound okay?
Yes.
Make sure you put your computer on mute though, right?
Yeah, I'm going to put my phone on mute here.
Or yeah, there you go. Either way. Okay, folks at home.
Okay.
If anybody's at home and you'd like to ever be able to call in, just go to healingisfree.com and fill out the form. And like my friend here out in Dallas, she's got any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, my friend? All right. And
Sounds good. Thank you.
let me know if there's anything funky with the picture or anything like that, or the sound. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. You see me? Okay, good. Looks perfect. Okay, we're going to come into our Wuji posture here. So we're going to remember crown of the head's going up to heaven with our exhales out of the mouth. Feel the feet. Feel the feet, the bottom of the feet on the earth. Knees slightly bent. All of our joints are stacked above each other, and then shoulders are relaxed and down. Let's do 3 pulling down the heavens. We're going to breathe in through the nose, about a 4 count on the way in. Receive the energy from Father Sky, and then out through the mouth. 8 count on the way out. Two more times. Receiving that new energy from Mother Earth. Out through the mouth. Okay, and we can come back to that breath anytime. The horse breath, fluttering the lips like that. We can breathe tongue out like a lion's breath. Sending our third eye just a bit up to the sun. But what we're always going to do for this first part of our Qi Gong practice is we're going to breathe out through the mouth all of our entire exhale. Before we inhale anything else, we're going to breathe all of it out. And to take it to the next level, start with any ball, okay? You see me doing a heavy medicine ball like this because I've been doing this for a couple years, okay? And my neck is a lot stronger than it used to be. I can do all that. Start with a light ball, like maybe a basketball, okay? You can get into any yoga pose, squat, or just standing, okay? And put a ball on top of the crown of the head, and it's going to bring our attention here, and we're going to have that feeling of, oh, I need to push up just a little bit, okay? We can interlace our fingers on top like this, and then relax our shoulders, pushing my head up against the ball, while also my hands, the gravity is pulling down, okay? All this is expanding, going up, the thoracic vertebrae, all that. So starting with it just going straight up like that, and then we're going to start to work through different ranges of motion of the cervical spine that almost never get worked, and they never get loaded with weight. So you start with just a little bit of weight, okay, to build our Wuji posture. Straight up, 12 breaths. Oh, there you go. You can use that if you want. That's 20 pounds. Very strong, very strong. Good job. Be careful, okay? So I'm going straight up for 12 breaths. Let's say I've done 12 breaths. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down for 12 breaths. And I'm going to try to completely relax all this and let it just hang. And as it gets to the very bottom of its hang, can't go any farther, then I'm just going to press just a little bit up. Press up that way, up. Now I'm using all these muscles at their longest range of motion. I'm strengthening them in the stretch. And after 12 breaths, I come all the way back up. Okay? Take a breath out. Relax the shoulders again. Now we're going to do something that we haven't done since we were a baby. And we're going to get stronger in this position that we haven't done for a long time. Whenever we started hanging our heads in shame, we stopped doing this right here, which is take the ball, send the third eye up to the sun, like this, place the ball on top of the third eye, and be very careful, you might want to switch. How about you switch to this ball? Because this took me a couple months when I discovered this. It took me a couple months to actually strengthen myself to do this without pain. Third eye up to the sun like this. You see me on there? Good. So I'm going to take the ball from the crown of my head, breathe in and breathe out. Third eye up to the sun. 12 breaths. Push it up. Back to the crown. Okay. Talk about cosmetics. Talk about fountain of youth. Talk about anti-aging. Talk about respiratory function, sinuses clearing up. Talk about skin condition, wrinkles, all these things, plus all the pains in our body are related to the postures that we form out of habit. We can restore from the inside out, strengthening from the inside out using this method and the Qi Gong purging breath that I'm teaching you. So get yourself a medicine ball. If you don't already have one, start with the basketball, something like that. The idea is to eventually get 2 medicine balls. You're going to have one on top of your head. The other one you're going to use strengthening everything. If you started this live stream with me a little early, you saw the warm-up that I did. I call it medicine ball ballet. So that's just a quick tutorial of how we're going to use a medicine ball or any ball to reinforce our Wuji posture, okay? So let's go back to it. We've done our pulling down the heavens here, purging. Let's go on ahead and open up our joints. If you just did that with a ball with me, you've really opened up the neck already quite a bit. Let's go on ahead and open up the sides of the neck. So we're going to take one ear, and it's going to go down to the side of the shoulder. So let's take left ear, go to the shoulder, left shoulder. Take a nice breath in. Send the right ear up as we breathe out. And then one more breath in. One breath out. Send the left hand way up to the sun like this. On the next breath out, cap that ear. And now just let the weight of the hand here pull down the head. Remember not to get outside of our foot there with our weight. And on the next breath out, come on up. Shake it out. One breath in the center. Okay, now we're going to do the other side. So we're going to go right ear to right shoulder. Feel that left shoulder relax down. Crown of the head goes over into the side. Let's take the next breath and go right hand way up. Feel that hand weighing down the head and feel the ear on the exhale pushing up to the heavens. On your next exhale, take that left arm. We forgot to do this on the other side. Take the left arm way up and then sweep down the ear, out the shoulder. We can do this on the other side too to even out. Come down the ear and out the shoulder. Shaking it out. Okay, now let's open up our shoulders. Let's just do 3 big circles to the front. And now let's do about 5 to the back. We start out, we open up all of our joints. If there's nothing else you do every day, open up all your joints. Okay, every single day, open up all of our joints. Let's do elbows and wrists. Really feel it here. Get in like we're serving some food. And feel those elbows and wrists, even every little knuckle of our fingers. When I say open the joints, what do I mean by that? I mean, take the joint through its entire range of motion. If you have a limited range of motion, go as far as you can, using your breath, purging out to gradually expand that range of motion. Okay? So now we're going to go to our hips. Let's just do nice, easy circles here. About 5 each direction. We're doing a slightly abbreviated Qi Gong flow today. This can take an hour, hour and a half. We're going to do more like a 30, 45-minute Qi Gong flow today. And I'm going to give you, every single one of these exercises that I give you is something that you can use just about any time. Especially the purging. So opening joints, we can do that anytime. Sitting at the desk, you can open our neck, open our ankles, open our shoulders and our knees. Go like this. Feel our hips. Okay? So let's go down to the knees. Do wide knees. Either way we want to do it. The point is to take the joint through its fullest range of motion. It's like, okay, that's about where I can stop. Let me put a little weight on it and let me breathe into it. Feel it gradually expanding. And then I'm going to go the other way. Do the opposite. Pushing out. And come back. Okay, now go other direction. Okay, coming up. Now we're going to do ankles. Feel our weight come into one foot. And then lift up the other. Hands to the hips and rotate that ankle. About 5 times each direction. Stop in the middle. Whoop. And shake it out. Other side. Shake it on out. Okay. Now that we've opened up all of our joints, let's come back to that pulling down the heavens with purging breath. We're going to feel the energy coming into the center of our palms, breathing in like this, new energy. Turn the palms up and then out of the mouth. Guiding any old energy back to the earth. 2 more times, into the nose. Okay, in the last live stream last week, we did a few different purging exercises. And today we're going to do a couple different ones. So go back to the last live stream and you can see additional purging exercises to the ones I'm going to show you right now. They're all good. Okay, last week we did tapping, and what do we do? Dropping post, and we did shaking it off like a dog. Those are all great. I'm going to show you some more. These are all purging. Okay, we're feeling any pain in our body, my neck, my hip, my foot, anything. Emotional state, anything. We can purge with our breath, and these exercises help us, okay? So here we go. We're going to have our good Wuji posture, our knees slightly bent, okay, shoulders relaxed, and we're going to make like we're wearing a dress, a skirt, okay? And we're going to breathe into the nose, and we're going to pick up the skirt. And then as we breathe out, we're going to fling. It's like we're going to take any excess energy that's here in our field, and I'm going to fling it way over there, the farthest tree away that I can see. And then I'm going to come back up to the center, breathing in. And then I'm going to go way over there. It's flinging way over on a tree, way over there. And then I'm going to come back. Breathe in. like this for about 12. When we do this, we want to make sure that we're not going outside of the lateral aspect of our feet with our weight. So the whole time, even though I'm going over here, I'm not over like this. I'm here on the instep of my foot. Okay, so Hannah, you're doing great. This is for the audience at home. Just make sure they know. Maybe one or two more on each side. And come into the center. Okay. Continuing purging breath into the nose, 4 count. And out through the mouth. Now we're going to trace our meridians. Metal, water, wood, fire, or earth. You choose.
Earth.
Okay, we're going to do earth. We'll start right here with our stomach. Okay? So stomach right here. Right in the center of my eyes right here, the lower eyelid. That's where the stomach energy, it's masculine energy from the earth element. And it comes from the sun. And it enters right here. And it comes straight down, both sides. Like that, right along the sides of my lips. See people that have the strong wrinkles right here? Stagnation in the stomach meridian. Let's relax. Let's breathe in trust. Breathe out any worries. And we can literally trace and encourage the movement of the energy. Even if we just work it right here, this meridian goes all the way from here out of our toes. And I'll show you that whole meridian. It goes out the second toe, but just right here at the beginning of the meridian, we can assist our stomach. Okay? Right here. Just going like this. I'm just helping everything move. Coming down just like this. Stomach meridian comes down just like this. And it goes down the outside of my quads right here. Down the outside of my knee. Can we see that? Okay, and it keeps going down. And then it goes out. Keeps going down. Thank you. Thank you. It keeps going down and it goes out the second toe. Okay? So this whole meridian of stomach energy, yang, earth element coming from the sun, it comes and it enters right here. It goes down like this and out the second toe. And then the yin aspect of earth element comes from the earth and it enters in the inside of our big toe. And it comes up just like this, up the inside of our legs. Right up in here, just like that. And it comes up like here. So earth element is manifesting in our body as our stomach and our spleen. And it's happening because we have yin earth element coming from the earth, like this. And we have the yang earth element coming from the sun, like this. Okay? And when we have health in our earth element, our stomach, our spleen, when they're healthy and they're functional, all that energy along those two lines is flowing freely. There's no stagnations. The organs themselves aren't dealing with a bunch of bad inputs that make them work overtime. And all along that whole line, we're not in bad postures that are creating stagnations along the line and making it difficult for the energy to flow. And we're not in our mind holding on to thoughts and things like that are going to prevent the energy from moving. Okay? So I wanted to take a minute there and let you know where the meridians are. So we're talking about our earth element. This is what we're talking about. It comes from right here. It goes out the second toe, and then the spleen, the yin, comes up the inside of the big toe and goes like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to trace those elements, those meridians, just with our fingers. So we'll start right here. Breathing in and out through the nose, out through the mouth. Here we go, straight down. And don't worry about getting it exactly right. That's not the point. The point is to feel anything that's tight, anything that's not moving, and just give it a little attention. Give it a little movement. Keep going down. Down the outside. We can tap if we want, whatever feels good. And then out the second toe. And now we're going to stay bent over like this because we're going to be down here and we're going to start on the inside of our big toe. Just give a little bit of, you can take our fists like this and just put a little bit of pressure on them. Feel your head relax, lower back relax. Take a nice breath in. On the breath out, feel the crown of the head go down. Now I'm just going to go like this with my hands, my fists, use my fingers. Just bringing attention to this line of energy. Along the inside of my quads here. And there's multiple lines of energy coming up and down. So you might feel other things, whatever you're feeling. If it feels like it's stagnated or not moving or tight, just give it a little bit of love. It'll help it to get moving. Okay? So there we go. That's our earth element. All right, let's take a nice breath into the nose, out through the mouth. Okay. That's really nice. Let's do a sort of version of that, what we just did, except this time we're going to actually energetically in our mind with our intention, we're going to breathe into the nose and then we're going to like we're growing tiger claws. Okay. We're going to take these tiger claws and we're going to come all the way down. And now we're going to scratch along the inside of the feet here, along the inside of the feet. And I'm just scratching along, energetically clawing, raking everything, not specific to one meridian or another, just everything here is being raked, purged. Okay, and then I come up to about the belly button. I switch my hands like this, and I come into the armpits, and I come to the elbows like this, and then I go all the way up to the wrists and go. And then I take the claws again, top of the forehead, top of the head, down the sides, over the eyes, being careful over the eyes here. Scraping all of it energetically, feeling all the energy down the side body here, down the glutes, side of the knees, and then out the ankles. So again, coming up the top of the feet now, top of the feet more. Coming up like this. Again, cross over the belly button. Okay, now we're going to come back again. Let's go more the center of the head here and then down the spine. Down the spine, down the hamstrings, back of the knees. Okay, and then we're going to go out the pinky toe. One more time. Now we're going to imagine we're coming underneath the feet, underneath our feet. And then we're coming up the inside medial malleolus of the ankle here. We're coming up inside of the knees. Cross over again. Shake it out. These are things you can use anytime, anywhere, unless you're worried about looking cool or whatever. You can do these things and help yourself a lot, especially the breath. Remember, most people are not even paying attention. They're listening to some music or something, got earplugs, so you can take a breath in silently anytime. And out through the mouth. You can go to the bathroom if you got to do it. It's going to help you so much. Purging breath. Okay, now we're going to move into strengthening. What time is it? Okay, perfect. We'll do a 35. You got till 11? 10 minutes? Perfect. Okay, we're going to do 5 minutes of strengthening and 5 minutes of balancing. All right, so we're going to strengthen here. Remember, the breath is really what we're talking about. When I talk about purging, strengthening, and balancing, you can stand there without moving and do all of it with your breath. Strengthening, into the nose for 8 count. No noise. Coming up with our hands like this. And out through the nose, 4 count. Two more times. We're going to go into the nose on an 8 count. Out through the mouth, or excuse me, out through the nose, 4 count. One more. Flip. Boy, it sure helps having that California sun.
Yeah, it does.
On a 70-degree day in February. But don't hate. Y'all are welcome to come on out anytime. Come on out anytime, and you can be right here with us doing Qi Gong, okay? All right. So our strengthening in through the nose, out through the nose. We remember the Yang exercise to strengthen all of our Yang organs at one time. Let's get to where we're facing the sun, basically. Here's the idea. Okay. We remember that we come up to about the level of our diaphragm on the breath in, and then on the breath out through the nose again. We come back like this. We come back to our heels. So we're going up, down. Make sure everybody can see me here. To the side. Good job, man. Try and do about 36. Really feeling the bottom of the feet. Full range. And I've lost count, so we'll
Me too. It's a
stop here at some point and come into the stillness of center. And nice breath out. Okay, that's our Yang organs. Now we're going to strengthen our Yin organs one by one, starting with our lungs. We're just going to move through this, not quickly, but we're just going to go through and not take too much time strengthening, because our focus, until we really get all the pain out of our body, or at least close, we want to mainly be purging. Okay, so strengthening a bit here. We're going to breathe into the nose, receive all that integrity. And then breathe out through the nose, breathing out any sadness. Relaxing the shoulders, imagining a pearlescent white coming in and a smoky gray going out. 3 more times into the nose. Breathing in our integrity. Breathing out any sadness. And relax. Okay, that's our metal, yin element. That's the lungs. Now we're going to go to the water yin, which is our kidneys. Right back here, we're going to make a cup with the back of our hand, with our at the small of our back here. And then we're going to get ourselves in a little horse pose, and we're going to have a cloud. This other hand down here is like a cloud that's forming. You see it go across? Because we're breathing in our wisdom. Coming down, we're scooping up that wisdom. And then we're breathing out any fear and pouring it out into that cup. Just going to do 2 on each side. So we're going to breathe in the wisdom. Breathe out any fear. Out of the nose. Then we're going to switch hands. Come across. Breathing in wisdom. Breathing out fear. Imagining a deep indigo blue coming in. And we're coming into the center. Shake it off. Okay, now we're at wood. Metal creates water. Water creates wood. Yin, wood element, is our liver. We're going to feel our ball of energy here, this perfect ball of energy that we're cultivating, and we're going to breathe in our kindness. Cultivate that ball, and then we're going to breathe out any frustrations. Push them right out like that. We're going to breathe in kindness. Breathe out any of our anger. Breathe in, imagining a deep forest green. Breathing out a slimy toxic green. One more, each side. And come into the center when we're ready. Okay, metal, water, wood. Wood creates fire. Heart. The yin of our fire element is our heart. So let's remember the meridian here starts at the armpit here, and it comes down the pinky side of the arm, and it goes out the inside of the pinky. Both sides. And it goes up to the sun. Okay? It's yin energy. It comes from the earth and it goes up to the sun. That's our heart. So we're going to open up that meridian just 2 times each side. We're going to go like this. Breathe in. Open it way up. And then come to the center. Breathe out. Breathing in peace. Breathing out any anxiety. Breathing in a nice soft pink color. Breathing out a fiery red. One more time. Breathe in peace. Breathe in calm. Breathe out any overexcitement. I'll come into the center and do 1 purging, pulling down the heavens here. Out of the mouth. Don't let the hands touch each other. We do that after the fire element strengthening because we can build up a lot of energy after that. We want to let it go. One more element. What is it?
Sky.
Earth.
Earth.
We traced our elements of earth, and now we're going to do the earth strengthening. Remember when we were tracing our elements with our claws and all that? That's more of a purging. We're getting things moving. Strengthening, it's about bringing in the new energy, okay? So, earth element, spleen, is the yin. We're going to bring our big toes together, heels slightly apart. We're going to breathe into the nose. Crown up to the heavens. On the exhale. On our next inhale, we're going to breathe in. We're going to cover up the sun. We're going to form a diamond here, and we're going to put the sun right in the center of it. Closing my eyes, obviously, so the sun doesn't burn my eyes here. Breathing in, relaxing my shoulders. Breathing in that trust. Turn to the side. Breathe out any worries. Breathing into the nose. Relax the shoulders. Do one more each side. Breathe in, trust. Imagine a golden earth yellow Qi coming down, dripping down from the sun, all over your body. Dripping down to the earth. Breathing in, trust. Breathing out any worries. Anything we're obsessed about. Back to the center, breathe in, trust. And relax. Okay, so we're doing a slightly shorter class today. Trying to keep it about 45 minutes. So we've done the purging, strengthening, and now we're going to do a balancing. And the idea of balancing is in through the nose, out through the nose, breath, 4 count each. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to have you imagine a ball of energy right here, okay, with your intention. I want you to feel, when you go like this, you should feel this energy that's coming out of your hands, okay? And you can, in your intention, in your mind, you can cultivate this energy as pure. We can place it with our intention at the base of our spine. And really what we're doing is we're putting our intention and our attention at the base of our spine, which is probably something that we don't do very much. So we're going to feel that ball of energy as if it's there at the back of my spine, behind my spine, at the base of it. And as I breathe in, feel the new energy coming in. As I breathe out, feel all of it go right back out. Not holding on to any energy. 2 more times here. Breathing into the nose, out through the nose. On the third one, we're going to, with our breath in, we're going to come up with our hands. We're going to feel that ball start to go up the back of our spine. Slowly, with our breath in. Feeling that ball go up and over the back of our head, over the forehead now, coming down the front, third eye. As I breathe out, feeling my sacrum and everything relax. Feel my feet on the ground. 2 more times. You're going to breathe into the nose, feeling the energy go up the back of the spine. Up and over the back of the head and then down the front. When we complete the third one, we can place right hand over belly button, left hand on top of right hand. That's if we're men. If we're females, do the opposite. Left hand and then right hand on top. But either way we are, we're going to breathe into the belly here. We're going to feel that new energy that we've just cultivated, that perfectly balanced energy. Expand into our belly. Breathe out of the nose. Feel ourselves give it all back to the earth. 2 more breaths into the belly. Feel the belly expand to the sides. Crown extends to heaven with the exhale. 1 more breath. And with the breath out, we're going to come into a bow to the sun. We'll guide this energy that we've cultivated to serve us to the highest purpose until the sun comes up again tomorrow morning. Thank you all for being here. Anna, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, Wednesday mornings, you're always welcome. If you want to call in and be able to ask questions and stuff like that, there is a method to do that. And go to healingisfree.com, fill out the form, and I'll get in contact with you. And we're getting ready to have a Q&A here very shortly, so stick around for another minute or two. I'll be getting set up where I'll be answering some questions from a couple callers. So that'll be just here in a minute. Stay tuned. Thanks for doing it again. All right, my dear.
I was hoping you would give me the ball, but you didn't, so I just activated.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Hannah. Is anybody on the other end of this?
Hey, Doc, I am.
Okay, perfect. Great. Thank you for sticking with it. How are you feeling?
Welcome. Feeling good. I'm enjoying the Qi Gong.
Good. Okay, cool. So, folks, we've got a live Q&A here that's about to happen. Got a friend who I've met here through the project, Healing is Free, who filled out the form a month or so ago at healingisfree.com. And you're in Texas, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for calling in all the way from Texas. I am looking for a hair tie. Have you ever been in that predicament?
Yes, daily.
Hold on just a second here. Okay, let's see what's a good spot to do this Q&A. How's the picture look over here?
That's good. I can see great.
I have flowers.
Good light.
Flowers are always nice, aren't they?
Yeah. That's great.
Okay. Actually, you know what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take it over here and thank you for sticking with me while I get all this set up and figured out here. Did I put that? Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. Okay, good. I just want to make sure I have everything set up. I got my notebook here.
Okay.
Note to self, I'll have this stuff set up next time in advance. Well, thank you for calling in.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling in.
Yeah.
So we're doing a live Q&A here, folks. So if you're interested in trying to think about what's happening in your life, what you're experiencing from a different perspective, you can call in and I'll share what I've learned. So the Qi Gong framework, it actually helps a lot of different aspects of our life. So people are surprised at sort of the breadth of the explanatory power of this philosophy. And it's a great opportunity to have people call in and ask any kind of questions you have, whether it's about emotional state, pain in the body, any symptoms you have. Feel free to call in, and the way to do that is to first go to healingisfree.com, fill out the form, and then we'll get in contact and I'll help you take it from there. But with all that being said, Joanna, thank you so much for calling in from Texas. What did you want to talk about today?
Sure thing. Well, as you know, I'm still working on improving sleep issues, and
You said what
so I had
issues?
a couple questions.
Sleep.
Improving my sleep issues. So I had a couple of questions about that. Just trying to troubleshoot how to make this work better. And one of the things that you had suggested that I like and I'm doing is to restrict your eating window. So I've been doing that, but the problem is that I get hungry and then that interferes with sleeping. So I wanted to ask you, how long should I finish eating before going to bed? Because I think it'd work better for me to eat late, so that I'm not hungry when I'm trying to fall asleep.
Right. Well, it's a good general rule to not eat after the sun goes down too much.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that, really within, the hour or two after the sun goes down, I think it's not that big of a deal, especially if you have a big, like your one main meal, you can kind of have it then.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what I do. I try to wait till about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock before I eat anything.
Okay.
And then I'll eat until maybe 7 o'clock or so, 8 o'clock. The main thing is we don't want to be snacking, like right before bed. If you're eating healthy, you're eating, say, eggs or an apple, avocado, meat, something like that before bed, it's not going to hurt you. Even if you ate it at 10 o'clock, you could have scrambled eggs, and I think you're going to be fine when you wake up in the morning. If you have a smoothie with a bunch of fruit, that's all that fructose has to be processed in the liver. And as we've talked about, the liver has high tide in the middle of the night, like 1 o'clock, 3 to 3 a.m. So that's the time that the liver needs to do a whole bunch of stuff. And if it's all of a sudden given all this extra work, sugar, fructose, or other sugar, alcohol, all of a sudden the liver has to work overtime and we can have trouble sleeping. A lot of times we'll wake up during liver hour and people will be like, why am I up at 2 a.m.? Well, you remember you had a beer before bed and now your liver is working overtime and it woke you up because it's kind of like doing a 4-alarm fire in your body. And it's like, I need all hands on deck to help me process all this alcohol and all this sugar. So I'm going to take energy from the tendons and the muscles that are all along the line, and we'll feel it. We'll literally feel it in the night. We'll be like, oh God, what's going on? And we'll wake up. Yeah. So I think if what you're dealing with is before bed, you're feeling a little hungry and it's making it hard to sleep, I would say just move your eating window. And also, if you're really eating pretty strictly and you're not having, basically carbs, right? If you're not,
Yeah, right.
if you're not having a bunch of rice and potatoes, and if you're not having ice cream and sugar and alcohol and all that,
Mm-hmm.
you can extend your eating window, not a big deal, right? If you extend your eating window, if you're having only good food, right? It's not that big of a deal if you're eating 8 hours a day.
Okay, good.
So does that make sense?
Thank you. Yeah, it does. It does. That'll be helpful.
Yeah, I think the main things to remember is just, once the sun is down, especially, you want to shut down any sugar, no snacking, all that fruit,
Mm-hmm.
you don't even want to have that ideally. But after the sun goes down, if you're having things that are, good fat, good protein, you're going to be okay. And there is a saying in Chinese medicine that it's best to eat like a king in the morning and eat like you're in the middle class for lunch, and eat like you're a peasant for dinner. So eat less and less. And the ideal time, actually, and this doesn't work for me, so I always tell people, take everything with a grain of salt and go with what works for you, what your inner guide is telling you for your situation. For me, I don't like to eat in the morning. I'm just not hungry yet. And
me neither.
Yeah. So I'm just not hungry. And the Chinese prescription is actually 9 a.m. Between 7 and 9 is actually stomach hour high tide. So between 7 and 9 is supposed to be the ideal time, actually, to eat a good meal and then sort of be able to incorporate it best with our organ clock. Now, I haven't ever really honestly tried that. At some point in my life, I'd like to experiment with that and see if I actually do that. Does it make a difference for me overall? It's just that, for me, I haven't had like any major problems with digestion and stuff, so I haven't had a need to change it really. But that is something in Chinese medicine, is they say between 7 and 9 is the best time to eat. So for some people, that might be the time to start your window, and then, maybe shut it down after lunch, and then you don't eat anything. So if you're watching this and that applies to you, that's great. But for Joanna and I, at least, right, Joanna, you like to eat a little bit later in the day.
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So I think the main thing is, if we're going to eat later in the day, just remembering to, the better we eat, the better, and shutting it down, 8 o'clock or so, probably at the latest, 9 o'clock. And then if we're having anything at all, it's just something that's easy to process. Not even an apple, really, because again,
like an egg, would like a hard-boiled egg be okay if I got hungry like in the middle of the night or something, I couldn't sleep?
Yeah,
that'd be easier to.
That'd be fine. That's not gonna. That's not gonna. You can, if you wanted to get up at 1 a.m, right in the middle of your liver high tide, it's not going to harm you that much, I don't think, at all, if you ate a couple scrambled eggs because you're just really hungry and you were having trouble sleeping. Okay. You know what I mean? If that's what it takes to get to sleep, no big deal. A couple eggs,
okay, good. Yeah.
What else, my dear?
Just kind of little side topic there on the same thing on eating and timing things. You had mentioned to not eat within an hour of doing Qi Gong. Do you also want to wait after doing Qi Gong or other exercise, or does it matter? Can you eat right after?
You can eat after. Yeah. Wouldn't hurt you to eat after Qi Gong.
Okay, cool.
It would probably help. It would probably be a great idea. It would actually probably significantly help our digestion, and also that's actually a kind of a cool idea. Do Qi Gong before eating, because kind of clear the mind, ground us, and I never thought of that. I'm gonna write that down.
That makes sense. Interesting. Because everything's relaxed too.
Right. And I mean, for
Cool.
me, I mean, I don't know about you, but I mean, I've had food addiction throughout my life, and, you know, food is not, you know, I can feel myself get into an emotional state just by having a plate on my table. Like,
Oh yeah.
like I can feel myself speeding up a little bit. And one thing my partner, Julie, and I try to do is try to remind each other, okay, let's take a breath before we eat here, and like let the plate just be there for a minute before I start shoveling it. So I like that
Good
idea
idea.
of doing some Qi Gong, you know, before eating.
Cool. Nice.
Anything else, my friend?
Yeah, if you have time.
Yeah.
I got a couple more.
Please.
Thank you. Sorry, so many of these are about eating, but I've just been trying to dial this in. And this is more of a theoretical question, but I was thinking following one of our conversations about, I think I told you I had concerns that I've been under eating a lot of my life. And you said, I think you said that that's not really a concern, and that we've kind of been trained to think we need to eat a lot more than we do, and that makes sense to me. So I was wondering about. I think the main reason I was worried about that is like getting in all the vitamins and minerals that my body would need, like getting adequate nutrition. If I'm not eating a lot, if I'm not hungry enough to eat a lot, and so and particularly with restricting the eating window to a smaller portion of the day, I was thinking I needed to eat more than I wanted to eat. So then I started thinking the FDA, you know, recommendations and all of that for how much of this you need and how much of that you need in your diet, and if not, you should take supplements. Is all of that just kind of bogus? And I've even wondered before, how can they really put a number on that? Since people are such different sizes and different like activity levels, that like we wouldn't all need the same thing. But I'm curious about your opinion on that, and with regard to like getting adequate nutrition from your diet. Is your hunger level just going to sort of take care of that for us, or any thoughts on that?
I think if you go with your, you know, hunger reflex, you know, if you're being told that you don't need any more, or you're not hungry anymore, you know, that's the inner doctor that we're talking about, you know, like that's your body saying,
Right.
you know, it's like the idea of a pendulum, right? So our body can sense like a pendulum, you know, like, oh, I'm being attracted to this. Oh, I'm being, you know, I'm being repelled, you know, that's a gut instinct that we have. That's, we could call it the inner doctor or spirit or whatever we want to call it. And, you know, we have to learn how to differentiate between that and, you know, there's also old patterns that influence us, you know? So it's, so we can get stuck in that question of, you know, is this my higher self or my lower self that's trying to get me, right? That wants me to eat more or wants me to eat less, you know? So, you know, I think everyone has to make that determination on their own. You know, what is their true gut feeling and instinct telling them, and then what is actually, you know, imposed from the outside, and, you know, trying to live up to something, you know, whether it's, you know, maybe we don't want to be fat, so we never eat enough, or maybe we think we need more minerals or whatever, so we eat more food than we need. I think, you know, the main thing is to remember that if something's a pattern and it's not changing, then that in and of itself can be a sign that let's just break this pattern just to see, just to remember that all of our patterns can be broken, and that we can, we can come back to the center and say, okay, forget what I've been doing every day for the last 10 years, changing it up right now. I'm going to see how it goes. But the main thing is to listen to yourself and to not judge yourself for how you're feeling. You know what I mean? One way or the other. So if you're not eating what in your mind seems like enough, but your body's telling you we're good to go, just see if you can convince your mind that we are good to go, right? Maybe your mind just needs the permission to say, yeah, relax. The body is in charge, and the body's going to tell me whenever I need a little more, and I get it. In terms of, am I getting enough minerals? Make sure you get some good sea salt, or some pink salt, whatever. It's got like all the minerals, 80 something minerals in there. You get some of that, you're going to have the minerals and stuff, the trace elements that you need supposedly to do what happens in your body. And, there's many examples of people who live around the world and they only ate, one thing, and they never got fruits and vegetables, and they're fine. They're great actually. So, I would say just, try to make sure you get some good salt, and just doing your best each day to follow your true felt sense, and not let your mind get in the way of telling you what you should be doing, but instead allowing your mind to tell your mind that you should be relaxing, right? It's like our mind is our mind is malleable. We can tell ourselves, we can put something in our toolbox and say, when I start thinking this, let me remind myself of this, right? So,
so just listening to your body a lot more, and following that rather than overthinking it, I guess, is that.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, exactly. If you're sitting there thinking and asking yourself, am I eating enough? Just remember, if your mind is going 100 miles an hour, then the main thing you've got to do is get that to stop and relax and actually check in with the body, right? That's everybody's problem, check in with the body. What does my body actually need? What am I actually feeling right now? And we've done the belly meditation before, right? With the hand on the belly.
Yes.
So that can be a good one for anybody at home. If we're, really what your question is, what do I do when I'm stuck in my mind and my body's telling, and I'm not even sure what my body's telling me, but I'm stuck in my mind with some kind of idea. How do I get out of my mind and then follow my true sense again? Well, a good way to do it is take your hand, right hand, put it on the lower left quadrant of the belly. Okay. And if you can sit up straight and put your feet flat on the floor, right hand on the lower left quadrant of the belly. I'm actually right above my colon, basically. See right here? Okay. And we've done this before, Joanna, but for the people at home, I'm just going to breathe into my nose, feel my belly expand into my hand, out of my mouth. 2 more times into my nose. Feel the crown of my head extend. Then I can make some circles here over that part of my belly, just wake it up a little bit, and then I move one turn over to below my belly button, and I do the same thing here, 3 breaths. And then I do another turn up to the upper right, 3 breaths, then over my solar plexus and over my heart, 3 breaths, then over my stomach and over my spleen, 3 breaths. And then 3 nice big circles. And then come back to the hand above the belly button. Place the other hand above it. And then just come back to a few breaths right here, in and out the nose. And when I'm doing this, what I want to try to do is focus on letting all those thoughts go by focusing on other things. Bring all my attention, direct it to my posture inside, feeling my posture expand with my breath, going into my nose silently, belly out to the side, expanding, and then out through the mouth, crown of the head up, into the nose, and I actually want to feel, like as I'm doing the circles with my hand, I actually want to forget about what's in my mind and really feel the skin of my hand on the skin of my belly. Forget about everything else. I want to actually just feel that feeling. And after doing that, it only takes a few minutes. We can get everything that's in our head out and actually feel our body, right? And from that point, if I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I really want to make some scrambled eggs. Or I want to have an apple. Go do that. It's okay. And that right there, I think, is the key to your question, Joanna.
Yeah.
Is how do we differentiate between the pattern that we're in? Is this pattern something that's helping me, that's coming from my higher self, my gut, or is this a pattern that's imposed on me by the culture that I'm repeating because I'm not actually in tune with myself? Well, any pattern that we have, we should be able to break it and go back to the sun and the earth. We're in the center. Forget about that pattern for a minute. I didn't need that ever. Let me come back to here and we can go from there. Does that make sense? Oh boy. Oh no. The phone died. Joanna, the phone died. That's funny. For folks at home, I'm going to charge this up. I've got one more person calling in. Joanna, if you're on the other side there, I'm calling you in 1 second.
Hi.
Hey, my phone died.
No problem. No problem.
Okay.
I think you answered it all, so
Okay, good.
that's great.
Good. So, no other questions at the time?
Not at the moment. I'm sure I'll have more eventually. But thank you so much for taking the time. And I really appreciate your reminders to look for the answers from the inner doctor and explaining to me just now about how to use the belly meditation to get there. I think it's going to be really, really helpful. Thank you.
You're so welcome. There at the end, you said for having that meditation to help you?
Yeah, but yeah.
With
Will
the
help
hand?
me get in tune with that.
Good. Well, yeah, thank you so much, Joanna. And like I always, try to tell people, there's a few principles that sort of apply. Take everything with a grain of salt. right? We're going to take everything that everybody says with a grain of salt, whatever their degrees or license or expertise, or even if they're just a guy on the street, whatever. Everything is taken with a grain of salt, and we tune into ourselves, the inner doctor. What is our felt sense? What is our body telling us that we need in this moment? And the other thing is that we actually have a way to understand things. It's not like we're lost in the dark. We can take it with just a grain of salt and not take it too seriously. But there is a theory called the organ theory that all these symptoms are really connected to the way that our organs are functioning. So taking it with a grain of salt, I always encourage people, feel your emotional state, feel your body, any pains that you have anywhere, look at the condition of your skin, and just connect it to how you're treating your organs, and understand that everything that we eat, when we eat it, all that, it affects our organs, our postures, etc. So as we start to do better, notice if our skin and the pains in our body and our emotional state and all these things together resolve to health as we center the organs. Okay. And then, people are always wanting to know what is the, what's my problem, or what is my diagnosis, or, it's never a single thing that's causing our condition. Even if our head gets chopped off, you could say there was a bunch of different factors that led up to that, right? It's like we have, I have people who come in that have insomnia, irritable bowels, anxiety, a toothache, and a backache. And each one of those things are not separate. They don't need to go to a separate doctor. They don't need a separate treatment. They don't need a separate diagnosis. It's all one condition. That's like if we looked at an orange tree and we looked at one of the fruits and we said, hey, here's a separate fruit that's all its own. No, all the different orange fruits are connected to the same tree, and every fruit has connected to many different roots. There's not just one root of that tree, and that tree relies on everything in the soil to be just right, and also the sun and the rain and everything has to be just right for all those fruits to come. So there's not one factor that's causing things. We remember that we can take two seeds of an oak tree that are exactly the same oak tree, supposedly genetics, but it's not genetics. We know because we take those exactly identical seeds and we put them on different sides of the house. Come back in 10 years, one of those trees looks like it's super healthy and flowing in the wind, and it looks really young and strong. And the other tree looks old and about to break. The branches are all brittle, and they're the same exact seeds. They've been there the same amount of time. It's not age. It's not genetics. It has to do with all of the factors of the field, not just the soil, but the many different planes of the field that come together and create sort of an ether that we're in. Like fish, they don't realize that they're swimming around in water, just like we don't realize that we're actually swimming around in this, call it an ether, whatever you want to call it. But it's a field created from the many different energies. We got sun and earth all coming together. And it's not about the genetics. It's not about the age. It's about all these different factors. And unlike a tree, the amazing thing about being a human is that if the factors aren't just right and our condition is off, we can understand these things and we can transplant ourselves. We can move ourselves over to the better side of the house and get more sunlight, et cetera, et cetera. So how do we do that is the question. Well, it's really important, first of all, to relax and de-stress. And if we're worried about, oh God, the condition I'm in, what am I going to do? It's going to be hard to help ourselves. So one of the first things that we need to do is be okay right where we are. Be okay with being just okay. Things aren't perfect. Well, actually, they're not. They could probably be a lot worse too. So we're kind of in the middle. if we realize it. And physically, we are literally in the middle. There's the sun up there. There's the earth down here. We're in the middle. So if we come back to that, reminding ourselves that we're here in the middle, things are going to go up, they're going to go down, but we're always right here in the middle of the sun and the earth. And how do we gradually transplant ourselves? How do we make things better if that's what we desire? Daily practice. It's not easy. It takes practice plus time. And every day the sun comes up, we get another chance to do our best. So that's why I try to tell myself and try to tell everybody is just do the best we can every day the sun comes up. And if we start small and be consistent, just every day the sun comes up, 5 days, 6 days a week, maybe give yourself a day or two off, but you can do it every day. A little movement routine that incorporates the breathing practice. You don't have to do the whole Qi Gong flow that we did earlier, but if you have time, that's great. But just incorporate a bit of it, purging breath, starting to understand these things and moving our body through the full range of motion. If we start building a daily practice that does these things, and if we fortify it with this incredible Qi Gong practice where we can refine our intention and holistically self-regulate emotional state, physical pain, all of it together, then that's what's going to really help us to transplant ourselves like a tree in time over to that better side of the house where we can get more sun and we actually, instead of aging over time, becoming more brittle and immobile, we'll actually become better and better. And you'll come back in 10 years and be like, well, that tree looks like it's younger now. Exactly. It's transplanted to a better condition. So thank you so much for being here and being part of it.
I love it. Oh, I love it. I love learning about this. It's so empowering and exciting to you really simplify everything, and show us ways to take our health holistically in our own hands. And it feels like, some of these lifestyle changes are hard at first, but when you realize how much impact it can have on your well-being and everything you're trying to do in your life, it's like, whoa, so worth it to, like you said, just put in your best effort every day. So I really appreciate you teaching me this stuff and encouraging me. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thank you for being part of it. It takes two to tango.
Yeah.
Hey, well, thank you so much. I'm going to let you go so you can go about your day out there and have a good one. And I've got another caller I'm going to reach out to here and see if he's got any questions.
Great.
So
Great. Sounds good. Thank you, Doctor.
thank you so much, Joanna. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again soon, okay?
You too. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, folks, I got another caller who's about to be on, and we'll see what their questions are. If they're home, we'll see. Cliff.
Oh, there, Doc.
Hey, brother.
Yes. Hey.
Hey there. If you can maybe mute the laptop or whatever you're watching this on.
Got it.
Do you hear me?
Yes, that's better.
Okay, brother. Well, hey, welcome to the live stream here. It's we're doing a Q&A, and this is a friend of mine from you're in Idaho, correct?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, well,
Currently.
well, shoot. Thanks for the call, and let me know how it's going, brother. What do I need to know?
It's going good. I really just got one question for you today. I was thinking about see what you have for us. As you've done Qi Gong through the years, have you noticed, and how quickly maybe have you noticed that you can see an improvement in your imagination and creative skills? Have you seen anything with that with yourself or with others? You know, an improvement, in other words, over time.
Wow. You know, I don't think I've ever really thought of that. I don't think I've ever thought of that. But I mean, it seems like it would be inevitable. You know, if we start relaxing more and allowing flow, you know what I mean? Because the practice is all about feeling things flowing rather than holding on. And, you know, creativity is pretty similar, where we allow things to just flow, you know, onto a page. If we're writing, we don't judge what we're writing as much as just write it down and that's it. So that's an interesting question. I think I'll have to do some thought on that and kind of scan over the people that I know from my Qi Gong practice, and if anyone has developed any type of creativity. I mean, I feel like the practice in and of itself is creative. Like, you have to create the image in your mind that you're breathing in deep forest green and that we're breathing out slimy toxic green. So that in and of itself is creative, I would say. But
Yeah.
why do you ask? Have you felt something yourself, or?
No, I was just thinking about it that, you know, as we, you know, clear traumas away, you know, and feel better, that, you know, would be possible that some creative energy, imagination that has been suppressed over years, you might get a release and have more come forth. And so with all the people you've worked with, I wonder if you've witnessed any of that, and maybe you've forgotten that there was someone that did experience that.
Well, and like I said, I think that's kind of what happens with everyone is that if they actually adopt a Qigong practice into their life, you know, what I've noticed is that it's typically people that are, you know, struggling. So, you know, usually when we're struggling, we're not putting out anything creative. You know, if we're struggling with depression and all that, you know, we're probably not producing much. So what I've noticed with Qigong and of course, you know, the people I work with, you know, I'm not involved with all their spheres of their life, you know, like to this day, my friend, we've spoken on the phone maybe handful of times, and I've never asked you what you do, correct? And don't tell me, but isn't that correct? I've never asked you what you do. I've never asked you how old you are, right?
Yeah.
So, and I just say that to make the point that I don't try to get into details with the people that I'm working with unless they're truly necessary, because I don't want people to get caught up in their stories about their life when they're here. You know, if I'm actually working with somebody physically, hands-on, my question I always ask is, tell me what I need to know. And then they start talking and they tell me what I need to know. And usually what I try to do is keep my response to a minimum, because I don't want to go back and forth with them trying to help them think what the cause is, what, you know, all complicated things. I want them to just relax mainly and get out of their head. So, what I've noticed is that when people come in, you know, if they've got a migraine, they are not in a creative state. The last thing they're going to do is, you know, sit down and write a play or whatever. You know, they have a migraine. They don't want to do anything except literally just be in bed, you know, be away from anything. So absolutely. I mean, I think if just by doing the practice of Qi Gong, or if you receive body work that helps you to relax and helps the stagnated energy to flow, absolutely, we're going to go from a state of inability to create to then being able to create freely and express freely. And I don't really, I don't follow up with people, my clients or my people I work with in terms of like, I'm not asking them how their job's going or anything like that. I just try to keep it really specific to what they are there for. So, if they've never told me about this project or what they do on the side or what their passion is, that's okay, because I didn't need to know it. I ask them, I ask you to tell me what I need to know. And, I'm not like one of those doctors that has a big list of all the questions I want to ask you and find out, where you work and blah, 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 and all this stuff. So I let the people drive the train and tell me what I need to know. And then I focus on helping them in the moment to release and relax the tensions. And I think it goes, without saying that if we do that, we're going to incredibly increase our creative potential, because all those tensions and stresses are the things that are blocking us from creating. Wouldn't you say?
I think so. Yeah, you pretty much answered it there, Doc. Thank you.
Well, shoot, brother. Thank you for calling in, and we'll do it again another time soon. You had a bunch of great questions last week too, so I'll try to remember what those were and put those out on another video, because you had a bunch of good questions last week too. So I always appreciate you calling in, my brother.
Okay, hey, thanks, Doc. Appreciate it.
All right, take care, brother. Enjoy. Hopefully you got a sunny day out there in Idaho, okay?
You're looking good. Thank you.
Rock and roll, brother. Take care.
You too, Doc.
Hey, friends. It's been almost about an hour and 43 minutes so far on the live stream, and this has been great. I will be doing this every Wednesday, morning times here on Pacific Coast, starting around 9 a.m., maybe 10, as we did today, and start out with Qi Gong flow, and then we'll go to live stream Q&A like this. If you'd like to ask a question and you want to get a Qi Gong perspective on, whatever you're experiencing, any symptoms, pains, emotional, whatever, physiological imbalances, anything you're experiencing, any diagnoses you got from medical doctors or anything, you can call in and we'll talk about it from another perspective. We'll consider things from a different angle. And you can call. You'll have to have my number. The way to do that is go to healingisfree.com, fill out the form, and I'll get back to you. And we'll schedule a first phone call where we'll get to know each other a little bit. You'll tell me what I need to know. And we'll talk about how you can begin that process of transplanting yourself from the wrong side of the house over to the right side of the house and create the best conditions for yourself to thrive. So if you are interested in that, if you're interested in pain relief, emotional regulation, breath work, energy work, body work, meditation, all these different types of things, Qi Gong is really the foundation of so many of these things that are in pop culture today as new age. It actually goes way back to the inner canon of the Yellow Emperor. Okay, so start reading some of this chapter a day or so. Maybe I'll start next week, and you'll get to see that there's other theories about what our conditions are. And actually, we don't need anything outside of us to manage them. So this is the centerpiece, the classic of ancient Chinese culture. And we will get into it and learn a bit more as we go along. But so far, you've seen a standing flow, moving meditation practice. You've seen me working on people with my hands. It's called Tui Na. And that's mentioned in this book a long time ago. So all these things are still relevant today. And if you are interested in how these principles can apply to you and help you have pain relief, better mobility, better emotional, mental state, spiritual state, all that. Injury prevention. Okay, there's many different reasons to incorporate this into your life. And if you're interested in doing that, go to healingisfree.com. It's legitimately free. There's no products at all that I recommend. Doesn't cost anything at all to join this project. And eventually, God willing, I'm going to write a book and you can be maybe a success story in it. Go to healingisfree.com, fill out the form. We'll get in contact and we'll start thinking about how you can consider all your symptoms from a different angle. And maybe you can resolve it all to health without spending even a dime. And if we can get enough folks together on this, we're already well on our way. A couple people already called in today. We've got over a dozen more that I'm working with, and you can become one of them. Just go to healingisfree.com, fill out the form, and I will get back to you ASAP. And we'll have a phone conversation. You'll tell me what I need to know, and I'll help you think about things in a holistic way that helps you to be more optimistic and centered and able to feel like you're in charge of your destiny. So get a hold of me at healingisfree.com. It's Doc Smith, and I'll see you next Wednesday for another Qi Gong live stream followed up by a Q&A, and we'll be starting the classic of ancient Chinese culture, the inner canon of the Yellow Emperor, next Wednesday, March 6th. Have a great rest of your day, y'all.